Honolulu, there are different Hawaiis for different people. The Hawaii that most tourists see is a place that exists between two flights, with island tours, casual mentions of the aloha spirit, a luau or a muddy hike. Those who live here see all that too. Against the backdrop of a hometown that is increasingly difficult to afford, locals have to reckon with the skyrocketing rent and real estate market, stagnant wages, ridiculously priced grocery bills, and the worst homelessness rates per capita in the nation. Then there's the Hawaii experienced by native Hawaiians. It includes all the beauty, lifestyle, exorbitant cost of living and affordable housing crisis, but added to it is another painful detail: Hawaii, the state, it is a stolen land. Hawaiians lost their queen right there, yards from where I'm standing, said Democratic State Rep. Kaniela while looking out from the Hawaii state capitol balcony in Honolulu. Next to the building is the Iolani Palace where, in 1893, a group of American businessmen and sugar barons, backed by the American military, overthrew the Hawaiian kingdom by forcing Queen Liliuokalani to relinquish control of it. It's intense to look at that from my office every day, Ng said. There is some fire inside of me that, even though I'm working for the state at all times, I still have a love for the original Hawaiian nation. After the overthrow, the Iolani Palace was used as headquarters for the provisional government and, eventually, became the government capital for the state of Hawaii until 1969 when lawmakers moved to Hawaii's current state capital. Native Hawaiians have a sacred relationship with their land, a cultural value known as aloha ina, which translates to a love of the land or that which nourishes you, but centuries of colonization and shady moves by American entrepreneurs have led to the displacement of many natives, according to Kalani Young, a native Hawaiian researcher currently studying at the University of Washington. Data collected by the Department of Housing and Urban Development in 2016 shows that 42% of Hawaii's homeless population identifies as Native Hawaiian or other Pacific Islander, and Young says that's no coincidence. What it means to be Native Hawaiian today is obviously shaped by colonialism and imperialism in Hawaii, so we as a people have a lot of burden to carry and are often blamed for individual failures, like homelessness, that are beyond our control, Young said. Young says that Native Hawaiians are especially vulnerable in Hawaii's current cost of living and affordable housing crises because the current system, installed by the U.S. after Hawaii was annexed and statehood was established, was designed to benefit non-Hawaiians who are not from here and who have access to resources that Hawaiians don't have. The overthrow of the Hawaiian Kingdom, which Congress formally apologized for in 1993, is only one of the more prominent examples of this. In 1887, years before the U.S. overthrow, a militia made up of white businessmen forced King David Kalakaua at gunpoint to sign a new constitution which limited the king's power and gave themselves more control over the kingdom. The so-called Bayonet Constitution gave foreigners, namely American and European residents, the right to vote while stripping that same right from Asian residents and many Native Hawaiians who could not meet the financial and land ownership requirements needed to vote. And when Westerners came to Hawaii, they also imported with them white supremacist ideals, according to Young. Around the time of the overthrow, for example, newspapers published racialized images of Queen Liliuokalani with features drawn to look more savage and exaggerated. That imagery of Hawaiian royalty demonstrated their idea of who should be in power and who shouldn't be, Young said. There's a long history of racism in Hawaii, displacing Hawaiians from positions of power, or from government positions, or from engaging in the market economy, Young added. Hawaiians have been, in a sense, sold out to this day by capitalism. This political cartoon, published in the Street Paul Daily Globe in Minnesota weeks after the overthrow, offers a racist depiction of Queen Liliuokalani with exaggerated features. To this day, some native Hawaiians are still passionately fighting to raise awareness about these injustices while seeking to gain back control of their land. In January, on the 125th anniversary of the U.S. overthrow, and less than a week after a false ballistic missile alert sent the state into a panic, thousands of native Hawaiian activists staged a march at the Iolani Palace to commemorate the injustices made upon Hawaiian people. Some people marched with the Hawaiian flag while others proudly held signs that read, "I am not an American." It was a nod to the resistance of the U.S. annexation of Hawaii into U.S. territory and, later, its establishment as a state. The weekend scare drives home the dangerous situation we are in as a client military base for the United States, John Osorio, a Hawaiian studies professor at the University of Hawaii Hawaiian, said at the rally, referencing the false missile alert and the rising tensions between the U.S. and North Korea. It should be clear by now that, if any nation is threatening our security, it is the United States. A post shared by OIWI-TV at OiWi-TV on January 18, 2018 at 6:48 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. This distrust isn't just a reflection of injustices in the past. Some native Hawaiians feel like Western values are still invading their sacred spaces, and they continue to speak out. Native Hawaiian activists for years have been protesting against the construction of what would be the world's largest telescope atop Mauna Kea on Hawaii's Big Island. In recent years, they have gained attention from A-list celebrities, including the Oahu-born actor Jason Momoa. Mauna Kea's summit, where other telescopes are already built, is considered sacred ground to native Hawaiians. It is also a habitat for native and endangered plants and wildlife. Another uproar over land happened last year, when Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg filed lawsuits against hundreds of people in 2017, in an attempt to force them to sell their inherited land located within a private 700-acre estate he purchased on Kauai years earlier. The multi-billionaire admitted later that he made a mistake, dropped the lawsuits and vowed to work with the community. What the current government system needs is more aloha, said Twinkle Borga, the leader of one of Hawaii's largest and most successfully ran grassroots homeless camps. Borga, who is native Hawaiian and homeless herself, is responsible for a remote encampment at the Waianae Boat Harbor on Oahu, where over 200 people, including children and families, live in makeshift homes and follow a strict set of rules set by Borga and other appointed leaders. Young, who previously lived at the camp for several months, says there is an overrepresentation of Hawaiians there, too. They forgot the sense of aloha, Borga said of the way local government runs in Hawaii. Officials still threaten to clear out her village, along with other homeless camps in the urban areas of Oahu, even despite the continued media coverage. The most recent sweep at the Waianae camp was called off in March after the camp's leaders met with the governor. In the capital, they will tell me, you made big waves, Borga said, referring to the local and national media attention her camp holds. It's people like us who put you in your seat, she said. I believe we should have our own council, and when they decide to make something or put something into law, the person we Hawaiians appoint should be sitting at the table, too. From the words of Twinkle Borga, we want to be treated as people, not problems. Please take the time to watch this video. Mahalo to @OiWi-TV for the coverage. https://t.co/ngzd7tcz20 https://t.co/laz46ubspo ACLU of Hawaii at Akluha 1, March 7, 2018. According to Young, continued protests like the ones for Mauna Kea and land rights in Hawaii, as well as Borga's commitment to Hawaiians, have been recently galvanized by the Mauna Kea movement, and other acts of activism, and are returning home to maintain their connection to the Aina land. For other activists, the protests and demonstrations prove that today's Native Hawaiians community is one that has survived through a vicious Westernization. We mourn the taking of our government in 1893, but the truth is that we should be proud of what we Kanakameoli, Native Hawaiians, have managed to do without a government that cared for us. Osorio, the Hawaiian Studies professor, said during the anniversary of the overthrow in January. It is clear that our culture, not just our language, not just our arts, but our values and essential character as a people, these things have all survived. This article has been updated with additional comment by Twinkle Borga about the homeless camps. Correction, a caption for a photo previously included in this article incorrectly said that a statue of King Kamehameha I stands in front of the Iolani Palace. That statue is located in front of the Hawaii State Supreme Court. Download Photo Gallery Hawaiian photos.